Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone to Body Slam Your Ears. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to this show and more on the NYC Demon Diva YouTube channel. It has so much content there. Whew. But today, we're talking about some big wrestling news. One that involves the Mr. Conspiracy himself, Sami Zayn. Fightful is reporting that about a month ago, Sami Zayn re-signed with the WWE, but now the story has come to light. And that is good news for me because I'm a huge Sami Zayn fan. How do you feel about this decision?
I feel like you need to not text me the word resign and text me resign because I took it as he had just like quit.
It says I spelled the word re-sign.
Yeah, but you need to put like a dash in the middle because resigns and resign are two different things.
Well, when you do things like that with your phone and your mouth, your phone doesn't know what you're saying out loud to it. I didn't go space. All right,
That's
I
why I responded
apologize.
to you. I think I responded, Sammy, like what?
Yes. Yes.
I'm excited. I kind of figured he would stay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to see Sami Zayn do a little bit more just because we know how talented he is in ring wise. But he just makes everything that they give him work. And I find him quite entertaining. So I'm happy to see that he's staying in WWE. They need some entertainment.
Well, I think he's on the level of a Miz on the microphone, except the Miz has this polished Hollywood lifestyle, so he's going to get more championship matches, like in the world title picture for Sami Zayn, who looks like a crazy kook, but is amazing on the microphone. The past couple of years, he has been featured in so many storylines. Before, remember he was on Raw with his short hair getting crushed by Braun Strowman in 2016? And
Yes.
And now, maybe some people don't think it's a big deal, but he's feuding with Johnny Knoxville heading into the Royal Rumble. They could have picked anybody to be involved with the Johnny Knoxville and celebrities. They picked Sami Zayn. So I think that's a pretty big indication that they trust him.
Oh yeah, and they trusted him with Logan Paul. Remember, like they put him in the segments with the celebrities. So that does goes to your comparison. It's very accurate because I feel the other person that they trust, like with celebrities and things like that, is the Miz. So yeah, you're right about that comparison. I like Sami Zayn. I want to see him have this character, but still be putting on banger matches on TV. And I feel like he doesn't wrestle enough.
Yeah,
I thought his program with Brock Lesnar was priceless.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, that was so good.
I was going to say, I think that now WWE, in the comparison with AEW, people go, oh, it's wrestling versus superstars, or it's sports entertainment versus wrestling. I think Sami Zayn, like you just brought up, you want him to have those matches he was having with Cesaro back in the original NXT days, or
with Shinsuke Nakamura. That match is one of my favorites still.
But I don't think you're ever going to see Sami Zayn ever again. He's older now, obviously, and plus his gimmick, he doesn't need to try to wrestle 5-star matches. All he has to do is talk his way into a match. Then you get there and he cowers. I think that's what's the difference between people crap on WWE, but WWE is based on like moments in a match versus the match.
Yeah, I mean, they even talk about WrestleMania moments. They don't talk about WrestleMania matches. It's always about the moments. It's what you remember. It's true. You remember certain moments. You don't remember. I mean, there are a handful of matches that I remember everything from beginning to end. I will say that.
Of course. I'm just happy that we don't have the tweets going out right now. Everyone's like, well, he should have stayed in, he should have gone to AEW, or Impact Wrestling, or New Japan. Like, guess what?
Okay, but I think those tweets are not happening because I think that once we found out that KO stay with WWE, I think it's safe to kind of assume that Sami will too. I know they're not the same person, this or that, but I just feel like they count on each other for making their decisions, or at least kind of talk it over. You know what I mean?
Yep. And the financial gain, the storyline, it really isn't coming out. If you go back to a few years ago when the Good Brothers re-signed, or FTR was trying to be re-signed, these $500,000, close to $1 million deals, these stories were popping up all over the internet. But this time around with Kevin Owens and even AJ Styles recently and Sami Zayn, we're not hearing the number. But obviously, if they're not part of the chopping block of laying people off, they are needed and they are wanted, and they're probably being offered some big money not to leave.
Yeah, I would assume so. And I know that like there's being speculated what they offer to like a Kevin Owens. But with the budget cuts and you cutting your roster down in half, I would assume that that does put WWE in a position where they can make better offers to the people that they do want to keep financially.
True. Yeah, you go back in the day where I say go back to like 1994. They only had like 18 wrestlers. I don't know if people like really do the math. And they survived, and they went on house shows, and they did Superstars and Raws and all these shows. Like it's not unheard of to have a small roster to be your wrestling
think about
promotion.
It. Look at all the cuts that they just did, and we still have people like Ali who we don't see on TV on a weekly basis. Like even with the cuts, there are still people not making it on TV. They could cut down more people, and you still will have people that doesn't get featured every week because they have that many people in the roster. Same with AEW. I think both rosters are overloaded.
Well, I've recently done some math, and we're not going to get into the war of AEW and WWE, but AEW, the last time I looked, has 92 male wrestlers under contract. 92!
That's insane. Are you serious? Like, actually, I would assume that it was pretty big, but hearing the actual figure is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's nuts. But speaking of AEW, John Moxley is back in our lives, and I'm so happy. But the question to you, I have a couple of questions, obviously, but the big one is, I'm so happy he's back. He shows up. He looks great. Looks like he lost like 30 pounds, but yet he comes out and some asshole in the crowd yells something, and it sounded like, "Get that drunk piece of shit out of the ring."
Yep.
And then I put that out there, and I said, "How disrespectful! How dare you kick that person out?" And then I had, a couple random people, but I know why they said it because of who they probably are. Is they were like, "Oh, great! Now yelling things at a wrestler in the ring can get you kicked out of the arena." There's a huge difference from yelling at a wrestler.
Don't be an asshole. This is. Yeah, like John Moxley was coming out here to cut a real life promo. He had a real life issue. If NJF comes out and says something stupid, that's different, Yes. But Moxley's coming back from fucking rehab for having an alcohol problem. You let him have his moment. At no point it looked like a storyline. You knew that he was gonna come out there and talk to us about what he just went through, and you don't do that. Like I hate that people would even think that, because you shouldn't. If a wrestler is coming out there to say something real that they're going through, not storyline related, you shouldn't do that. That's stupid. That's a stupid take.
It is, and I really enjoyed how the audience, besides that one dick, were quiet, silent as a mouse, listening to.
You could hear a needle
Moxley
drop.
said.
Yeah, you could hear a pin drop in that place when he was talking.
That's called respect. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Moxley.
For that one guy, I really hope they kicked him out.
I do too, but at the same time, legally, can they?
I don't know. No, you're right about that. I don't know, but I just can't believe that somebody would do that. Like,
that's the first thing you yell. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe,
especially when, like, that the balls that it takes for somebody to admit they have a problem, get the help that they need, and do it publicly. That people that are struggling with that privately won't even admit it out loud, let alone having to fix your issues in front of hundreds of thousands of people. You know what I mean? Like, It's just, to me, it's just mind-blowing that even if you don't agree with alcohol, even if you don't like alcoholism, or you're being affected by it, or even if you don't like Moxley, you should be respectful of that. You know what I mean? Or shut up, or don't say anything,
Right. You're right. It wasn't a storyline, but legally, I don't think they probably could kick him out. They probably could, like, pull him away and be like, "Bro, like, what the hell is your problem?"
I hope somebody kicked his ass at some point.
Well, hopefully FTR gave him the big old Bret Hart Hall of Fame exit and just punches him right in the face as they throw him out the exit door. One of my favorite Hall of Fame moments that you'll never see because it's not on Peacock. They erased it from history, but it'll be forever in my brain. We know what happened.
Even if they deleted it.
We also know that Gunther Stark is no longer being trademarked by the WWE. Apparently, after the Walter incident and Gunther Stark trending worldwide for days on Twitter, maybe someone at WWE finally Googled that name and realized, he was a Nazi. And guess what? People have tried to defend the Nazi on Twitter, saying, well, he was only in the Marines for 28 days. He died after 28 days. I don't care. If you're a Nazi for 5 minutes, you were a Nazi. Okay?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, that would be like not counting a title reign because he lasted a minute or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Once you're a Nazi, you're always a Nazi. I don't care what happened. But yet, people are defending it, but at least finally somebody at the WWE saw this and was like, okay, get rid of that trademark. Whoops, our bad. They finally realized it. Good for them.
Yeah, but they're still calling him Gunther.
Not Stark, though.
Yeah, but he's still dumb.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't trademark the name Adolf Hitler and then decided just to call Walter Adolf. That's kind of where we're at in the situation.
Yeah. No. Poor Walter, man. Poor Walter. This whole thing is a mess. And I can't believe that it was still trending worldwide. Like, it was people were shook.
They were. Also, there's a video trending throughout time where Darby Allin and Sting were in traffic and the car in front of them had a license plate that said AEW. So Sting in his face paint and Darby Allin in his face paint get out of the car, go up to the window and start chanting AEW, AEW, AEW. Dude, that's a moment you'll never forget in your life.
Yeah, no, they made that fans' wet dreams come true. That had to be an awesome moment. It's the first thing I saw when I woke up, and I thought that was actually pretty freaking cool.
There's a moment when I was a kid, I was going to Worcester, Mass for some Monday Night Raw. Got there early with my dad, and out of nowhere, he hit a motorcycle. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin on a fucking motorcycle, drove by all the fans, and everyone went berserk.
No way. That's awesome.
I got no video. I got no pictures. I got no proof. All I know is I was there. It's in my brain, and I'll remember it. At least Darby Allin recorded this video for those fans to, be abruptly like, holy shit, who the hell's next to me?
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool thing that they did. I enjoyed it. I saw the video, and I thought that was awesome. Sometimes we need wholesome moments like that in the timeline instead of all the negativity that we usually get.
And then, of course, before we wrap this up, we got to mention that you have to subscribe to NYC Demon Divas YouTube page. So much damn content there. But we also have some breaking news from Fightful. The WWE does not plan to grant Mustafa Ali's request for his release.
Wait, what?
That's right. We're breaking news here. The WWE is not letting Ali out of his contract.
Yeah, so the report says from Fightful Select, Mustafa Ali publicly requested his release, which many expected to be granted. However, we're told that's not WWE's plan at the moment.
Wow. Interesting.
We are told the term value was brought up a lot in the discussions between Ali and WWE, so we weren't given specifics on why WWE didn't grant the release. So I guess they see value in him, really, because it doesn't seem like you do.
This reminds me of what they did to Brody Lee. Luke Harper is he wanted out of his contract, and they were like, "Nope." And you were injured for 6 months, so we're gonna tack on more time to your contract.
Don't you remember they make Neville sit at home and finish out his contract without wrestling?
Yeah, he was out he was at his house for a long time.
Yeah, for like a year and a half.
Yeah, so this isn't unheard of. But hopefully, I hope the greatest stable gets back together. Retribution, it probably won't because we can't duplicate. We can't duplicate greatness. It's just not possible.
Retribution might have been what caused this, Steve.
No, you know what caused Retribution? All those riots last summer. That's what happened, and those were real. Those actually mattered. Those actually had a purpose. Retribution was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? 205 Live wrestlers in masks throwing bricks through walls, and then out of nowhere, they all took some magic potion and got taller.
That was crazy. Remember the first time they showed up SmackDown? It was like 20 or 30 of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like what?
And a couple of months before that, we had ninjas fighting the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. So then I'm like, wait, are these the same ninjas that were beating up the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits?
It really was. It really was.
It was sad. But there you go, folks. The breaking news. Ali not getting his release. And, of course, we talked about other stories like John Moxley is back. Sami Zayn has re-signed with the WWE. Gunther Stark is no longer a trademark in the WWE for, of course, many reasons. Obviously, the Nazi one is the number one. And Ali not going to get his release. Well, folks, thank you so much for tuning in to Body Slam Your Ears. Remember, I said it once. I'll say it again. NYC Demon Diva. Subscribe there. Don't forget to do that. Hit that damn bell. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Steve Fall. And where can they follow you on Twitter, Issa?
NYC Demon Diva with a 1 instead of an I.
That's right, because DMX got her suspended on Twitter. It's true. It's damn true. And don't forget to send permission emails to people that you need to send them to. Folks, we end the show the same way we do every day, Monday through Friday, right here with the same lovely phrase. And what is it, Issa?
Adios.
Adios. Permission.